I have seen many arrogant defendants, but Christian King Combs walked in with a swagger that sucked the air out of the room. He looks exactly like his father, Sean Diddy Combs, and unfortunately, he acts like he owns the place just like him too. Christian was wearing a bright yellow Versace silk shirt, unbuttoned halfway down his chest, revealing stacks of diamond chains that glittered under the court lights. He had sunglasses on, indoors. He strolled to the podium, not looking at me, but looking at his reflection in his phone's camera, fixing his hair. "State your name," I said, trying to get his attention. "King," he replied, still looking at his phone. "King Combs." "Is King the name on your birth certificate?" I asked. He finally looked up, sliding his sunglasses down his nose. "It's the name on the charts, Judge. Christian Casey Combs. But you can address me as royalty." "I will address you as defendant," I corrected him firmly. "Case number 401 Bad Boy. Charges: reckless driving and excessive noise." I opened the file. "Mr. Combs, the officer states you were driving a customized Ferrari SF90 on Thayer Street. You were revving the engine to 8,000 RPMs, scaring pedestrians, and you were clocked doing 70 in a 25-mile-per-hour zone." Christian laughed. It was a dismissive, cool laugh. "It's a Ferrari, Judge," he said, spreading his hands. "The car needs to breathe. I wasn't speeding. I was letting the horses run. The engine sounds like a symphony. Those pedestrians? They got a free concert. They should be paying me." "This is not a joke," I snapped. "Thayer Street is full of college students, full of families. You could have killed someone." "But I didn't," Christian interrupted, leaning his elbow on the podium. "Look, Judge Caprio, I know who you are. You're the internet judge. You're viral. I respect the hustle." He reached into his back pocket. "My dad told me, if you have a problem, handle it like a boss. So let's handle this." He pulled out a sleek, heavy metal credit card, an American Express Centurion. The black card. He slid it across the defense table towards the prosecutor. "Put the fine on this," Christian said casually, "and add a little extra for the inconvenience fee for keeping me here. Actually, buy everyone in the courtroom lunch on Bad Boy." The audacity was staggering. He wasn't just offering to pay a fine. He was treating the court proceeding like he was buying bottle service at a club. "Pick up that card," I ordered, my voice booming. Christian looked confused. "What?" "It has no limit, Judge. Swipe it. I'm trying to help you out." "You are not helping," I said, standing up. "You are insulting the integrity of this court. Do you think because your father is a mogul, you can swipe your way out of accountability?" "Money solves everything, Judge," Christian smirked. "That's just facts." "Not in here," I replied. "In here, your black card has been declined." "Officer Quinn," I signaled to the bailiff, "secure the doors. Mr. Combs thinks he can buy the court? Let's see if he can buy his way out of what comes next." I asked the clerk to play the footage from Officer Bennett's body camera. I wanted the court to see exactly what royalty looks like on the side of the road. The video started with the shaky view of an officer walking toward a bright red Ferrari that was idling loudly. The window was down, but Christian wasn't looking at the officer. He was holding his phone up, camera facing himself, ring light on. He was live streaming on Instagram. "Yo, check this out," Christian's voice boomed from the screen. "The ops are here. They hate to see a young black king shining. Look at this guy." He turned the phone camera toward Officer Bennett's face. "Officer, say hi to my 2.5 million followers," Christian mocked. "You're famous now. Try not to look broke." Officer Bennett remained professional. "Sir, please put the phone down and turn off the engine." "Turn off the engine?" Christian laughed into the phone. "Bro, if I turn this off, the turbo needs to cool down for 10 minutes. I ain't got time for that. Just write the ticket so I can sign it. I got a party in the Hamptons at 6. "Sir, step out of the vehicle," Bennett ordered. "Nah," Christian replied, checking his reflection in the rearview mirror. "My sneakers are white. That pavement looks dirty. I'm staying in the AC. Call my lawyer if you have an issue. His number is in my bio." The video showed the officer reaching for the door handle. Christian slapped the officer's hand away. "Don't touch the paint," he screamed, suddenly aggressive. "This is custom. You scratch it, you buy it. And trust me, you can't afford the lug nuts on this whip." The video cut out as backup arrived to drag him out. I signaled to pause the video. The courtroom was dead silent. The disrespect was palpable. I looked at Christian. He was watching the screen with a smile. "You're smiling?" I asked, incredulous. "You find that funny?" It is funny, Judge, Christian shrugged. Look at the engagement numbers. That live stream got 500,000 views. The comments were wild. People love a rebel. It's good for the brand. The brand? I repeated, my voice rising. You treated a law enforcement officer like a prop in your reality show. You refused a lawful order because you didn't want to dirty your shoes. They were Balenciagas, Judge, Christian explained seriously. Fresh out the box. You can't walk on asphalt in those. It ruins the aesthetic. I took a deep breath. This young man lived in a bubble so thick that reality couldn't penetrate it. Mr. Combs, I said, you talk about your father a lot. You talk about being a king, but let me tell you what I saw in that video. I didn't see a king, I saw a brat. Christian's smile vanished. His eyes narrowed behind his sunglasses. Watch your mouth, old man, he muttered. No, you listen, I leaned forward. A king protects his people. You endangered them. A king shows respect. You showed contempt. You are driving a $500,000 car, but you have a 10-cent attitude. You think because you have followers you are important? I pointed to the officer in the back of the room. That officer saves lives. You just pose for pictures. There is a big difference. Christian stood up, knocking his chair back. The bad boy persona was cracking, revealing raw anger. You can't talk to me like that, Christian shouted. My dad owns half the music industry. I can buy this courthouse and turn it into a parking lot. I'll have your job by tomorrow morning. You think you can fire me? I asked calmly. I can cancel you, Christian yelled. One post and you're done. I'll ruin you. I looked at him. I looked at the checkbook he had tried to bribe me with earlier. Mr. Combs, I said, opening the sentencing guidelines, you have spent your whole life thinking that money is a shield, that it protects you from consequences. But you are in Rhode Island now, and in my courtroom, money isn't a shield. I picked up my pen. It's just paper. The threat of canceling me hung in the air. Christian stood there, chin up, waiting for me to back down. He truly believed that a hashtag was more powerful than a gavel. You want to cancel me? I asked quietly. Mr. Combs, I have been serving this city for 38 years. I don't do this for likes. I do this for the law. I closed the file folder with a heavy thud. You said money solves everything. You offered to buy everyone lunch. You offered to buy the courthouse. Well, let's test your theory. I am fining you the maximum allowable amount for reckless driving, $500. Christian scoffed, reaching for his black card again. 500? That's it? I spend more than that on socks. Done. Can I go now? I'm not finished, I interrupted. That is the monetary penalty. But you have a surplus of money and a deficit of character, so the punishment must fit the offender. I turned to the bailiff. Officer Quinn, regarding the vehicle, the Ferrari SF90. The defendant stated on video that he was driving at dangerous speeds to let the horses run. He admitted to using the vehicle as a tool for public endangerment. I looked back at Christian. Under Rhode Island general law, I am declaring your vehicle a public nuisance and an instrument of the crime. I am ordering it to be impounded immediately. Christian's jaw dropped. The cool facade shattered instantly. Impounded? He shrieked. You can't do that. That car is a one of one. It's wrapped in matte red. If you tow it, you'll scratch the carbon fiber splitter. Do you know how much a splitter costs? It costs more than your car. Then I suggest you tell the tow truck driver to be careful, I said dryly. Hand over the keys. No, Christian stepped back, clutching his pocket. I'm not giving you my keys. This is theft. I'm calling my dad. Ah, yes, the phone. I nodded, remembering. Thank you for reminding me. You used that phone to record the commission of a crime. You used it to harass a police officer. It is evidence. I extended my hand. Hand over the phone, too, Mr. Combs. Christian looked at me like I was speaking an alien language. Losing the car was bad, but losing the phone, that was his lifeline. That was his audience. Without his phone, he didn't exist. You want my phone? He whispered, horrified. But, my followers, I have a brand deal to post at 4 p.m. If I miss it, I lose the contract. Then you just learned a lesson about breach of contract, I said. Officer Quinn, take the keys, and take the phone. The large bailiff stepped forward. Christian looked at the exit, then at the officer's taser, then at his entourage, who were uselessly standing in the back. Defeated, he pulled the heavy red Ferrari key fob and his gold-encased iPhone from his pocket. He slammed them onto the table. You're making a big mistake, Christian muttered, his voice trembling. You don't know who you're messing with. My dad is going to come down here and... Your dad is not here, I cut him off sharply. And that is the problem, isn't it? I leaned back, softening my tone just a fraction. You keep throwing his name around. Diddy this, bad boy that. But who are you, Christian? Take away the Ferrari. Take away the black card. Take away the famous father. Who is the man standing in front of me? Christian opened his mouth to retort, but closed it. He blinked. For a second, he looked lost. He didn't have a scripted answer for that. I'm a king, he stammered, but it lacked conviction. A king builds, I said. You just destroy, and for the next month, you are going to learn what it feels like to build something. I am sentencing you to 100 hours of community service, I announced. And knowing your distaste for dirty shoes, I have selected the perfect location. Christian winced. Where? A soup kitchen? A library? No, I shook my head. The Providence Sanitation Department. You are going to wash garbage trucks. The color drained from Christian's face. The word garbage echoed in the courtroom. For a young man who spent $5,000 on moisturizing cream, the idea of touching the city's refuse was worse than prison. It was a contamination of his soul. Garbage trucks? Christian whispered, his voice cracking. You can't be serious. I have allergies. I have sensitive skin. Do you know what kind of bacteria is on those trucks? I do, I nodded. And yet, men and women wake up at 4 a.m. every single day to drive them. They clean up the mess that people like you leave behind. They are the real kings of this city, Mr. Combs, because without them, your fancy Ferrari couldn't even drive down the street. But my image, Christian pleaded, looking at the press gallery. If TMZ gets a picture of me holding a hose next to a dumpster, my career is over. I'm a rapper. I need street cred. Well, I smiled. There's nothing more street than cleaning the street. You wanted to be real? This is as real as it gets. I motioned to Officer Quinn. Officer, do we have the standard issue kit? Quinn reached under the desk and pulled out a pair of thick, heavy yellow rubber boots. They were ugly. They were utilitarian. They were the opposite of fashion. I pointed to Christian's white Balenciagas. You were worried about getting your sneakers dirty, I said. So I am providing these. You can leave your designer shoes here in the evidence locker. You will wear these to your service. Christian looked at the yellow boots with pure horror. I wouldn't be caught dead in those, he muttered. They don't even have a logo. They have a purpose, I corrected him. Just like you will, starting tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I picked up the American Express black card and the checkbook he had left on the table. I held them out to him. Take these, I said. Christian reached for them, looking relieved. So, I can pay now? No, I said, shaking my head. I'm returning them because they are useless here. You can't buy your way out of hard work. Keep your money, son. You're going to need it to buy soap. Christian took the card. His hands were shaking. He looked at the empty spot on the table where his phone and car keys used to be. He looked at the yellow boots waiting for him. He realized the show was over. There were no likes to be farmed here, no fans to cheer him on, just a judge and a job to do. Do I really have to wash them? He asked, sounding like a child. Every rim, every bumper, every windshield, I said. And if you miss a spot, you do it again. Officer Bennett, the man you insulted, will be your supervisor. I suggest you treat him with respect. He decides when you go home. Christian slumped his shoulders. The swagger was gone. The bad boy posture had evaporated. Yes, Your Honor, he mumbled. Good, I said. Now pick up your boots and go. You have an early start. Christian grabbed the yellow boots. He didn't put them on. He carried them awkwardly against his silk Versace shirt, looking like a fish out of water. He walked out of the courtroom not as a celebrity, but as a citizen with a debt to pay. The gallery remained silent, but Officer Bennett gave me a subtle nod of appreciation from the back of the room. As the doors swung shut, I turned to the camera. We live in an age of influencers, I said. People who think they are important because they are watched. But being watched isn't the same as being useful. Don't confuse fame with value. Money can buy a Ferrari, but it can't buy character. Character is built by what you do when the camera is off. I'm Judge Caprio. Do the work and stay humble.